Welcome back to our extended study of It Is Finished. We've prayed. Trust that His blessings will continue on. We're narrowing into the final week, the earthly life of Mashiach. We're going to look at whose wife is she and other final prophecies in our ongoing study. Be blessed. Then came to him certain of the Sadducees, which deny that there is any resurrection. And they asked him, saying, Master, Moses wrote unto us, if a man's brother die, having a wife, and he die without children, that his brother should take his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. There were therefore 7 brethren, and the first took a wife and died without children, and the second took her to wife, and he died childless. And the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children, and died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore in the resurrection, whose wife is she? For the 7 had her to wife. And Yeshua answering said unto them, the children of this world marry, and are given in marriage. But they which shall be counted worthy to obtain that world and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage. Neither can they die any more, for they are equal unto the messengers and the children of Elohim, being the children of the resurrection. Now that the dead are raised, even Moshe showed at the bush, when he called Yahweh, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Yaakov. For he is not an Elohim of the dead, but of the living, for all live unto him. Then certain of the scribes answering said, Master, thou hast well said. And after that they durst not ask him any questions at all. And he said unto them, How say they that Messiah is David's son? For David himself said in the book of Psalms, Yahweh said unto my master, Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. David therefore calleth him master. How then is he his son? Then in the audience of all the people he said unto his disciples, Beware of the scribes, which desire to walk in long robes, and love greetings in the markets, and the highest seats in the synagogues, the chief rooms at feast, which devour widows' houses, and for a show make long prayers. The same shall receive greater damnation. And he looked up and saw the rich men casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a poor widow casting in hither 2 mites. And he said, Of a truth I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast in more than they all. For all these have of their abundance cast in unto the offerings to Elohim. But she of her penury hath cast in all the living that she had. She of her want, she of her neglect. Moving along and understanding the nature of synoptic gospels and how they overlap. Let's look at the first great prophecy in the temple by turning to Luke 21:5, and we'll read pretty much to the most of it. We'll read most of it. And as some spoke of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, As for these things which ye behold, the days will come in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when they shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these they shall lay hands on you, and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues, and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor to resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents, brethren, kinfolks, and friends. And some of you they shall cause to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but there shall not a hair of your head perish. In your patience possess ye your souls. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. For these be the days of vengeance, and all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, wrath upon the people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon earth distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with great power and great splendor. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And he spoke to them a parable. Behold the fig tree and all trees, when they now shoot forth ye see. Know of your own selves that summer is nigh at hand. So likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the realm of Yahweh is nigh at hand. Amen, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness, and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Verse 36, Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. What follows is a parenthetical statement as to the Master's custom during that last great final week in his earthly life. Again from Luke 21, this time verse 37. And in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, and at night he went out and abode in the mount that is called the Mount of Olives. 38. And all the people came early in the morning to the temple for to hear him. Let us then consider the second great prophecy given on the Mount of Olives. That would be later. Note that with this discourse, the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, is specified within his doctrine. If we turn to Matthew 24 and endeavor to read most all of that, beginning with verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Amen, verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, or as it says in the Greek, birth pangs, earth birth. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. But because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Speaking to the insurability of survival or physical preservation. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the set apart place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let him which are in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him who's on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field turn back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. And if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ the Messiah, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise many false Messiah Christs, and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore if they say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For wherever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Do you know the Greek bears out here a relationship to vultures, signifying mass destruction? Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, the stars shall fall from heaven, the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and great splendor. And he shall send his messengers with a great sound of a shofar trumpet, and they shall gather together the elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Amen, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, not even the messengers of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the time that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. There shall be two in the field, the one shall be taken, the other left. Two women grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your master doth come. But know this, that if the owner of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Next time.